And welcome to your hip sequence. It's 30 minutes of hip opening and hip releasing. My name is Beth Evans, and I am your humble guide with Comeback Yoga. It is my honor and privilege to be here with you today to celebrate you and your service to our country. Thank you so much for all that you do, for all that you have done. I am honored to be able to reach out to you. I am humbled, and I have a loss of words. But I try not to commit anything too much from the sense that I understand anything but how I perceive my own life. And what I mean by that is I am not the type of yoga teacher that will come at you with a lot of doctrine. I might try to drop a word or a nugget here with you every once in a while when it comes to me. But I suffer from PTSD. I have for a very long time. Today I read something about PTSD nightmares and how as you go through them, they are releasing maybe things. If you've seen violence, if you've felt violence, your nightmares sometimes are going through not only the things that maybe you have encountered, but also the reactions that you were having in that moment that maybe you did not give into. And that was huge for me because I suffered for decades, literally, with nightmares that I couldn't control. I could numb, I could this, I could that, but I couldn't control them. When I found yoga and meditation and I started regularly making that a practice in my life, I can say that I can't remember the last time I had a nightmare. It probably was within the last 3 years, but I know for sure I haven't had one in this last year, which is pretty phenomenal considering 2020. So I just wanted to say that it's so important when you're feeling anything, when you're feeling strong, when you're feeling weak, when you're feeling tired, when you're feeling happy, to reconnect, to find the foundation, to find your grounding, which could mean just sitting on the ground itself and letting something support you as you connect your breath and let your mind ride the wave of your breath, reconnecting through your body. So that is why I am a comeback yoga teacher, because not only do I suffer with PTSD and a lot of other things that keep me up at night, that keep me disconnected, but I have found a place where I can reconnect, where I can utilize some self-regulation tools and I can put it in my pocket, and maybe when I need it, I'll have another resource to make that breath a little easier, a little bit more accessible when I'm just starting to freak out, right? So sorry about that. I just wanted to really connect. Again, I saw this poem from one of my veteran friends about that, and it really just hit home. I will also, I'm going to save this, but I do have a little poem for you. Actually, I'm not going to save it. And I'll reiterate it again in our resting, but it is this. And thank you in advance. It is the soldier, not the minister, who gives us freedom of religion. It is the soldier, not the reporter, who gives us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the soldier, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the soldier, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protests to burn the flag. That is by Charles M. Province. And thank you again for your service and for my freedom and for the opportunity to heal with yoga. So let's get into it. I apologize for the long-windedness. Finding a comfortable seat, get yourself nice and grounded. So that might look different to each person. It might mean that you are connecting directly with the ground. If you have a cushion, a blanket, or maybe your heels underneath you, just allow your hips to grow a little heavier. Soften your shoulders and soften your head. In this moment, we're just going to take a few breaths here to arrive. Now that we've gotten to our destination. So whether your hands are on your knees, your thighs, or down by your side and pressed into the earth, let your eyelids grow heavy. Soften your jaw. Soften your shoulders. Soften your sits bones. And begin to take even deeper breath cycles here. Allowing the sensation of expansion as you inhale. Noticing where your body moves to receive new breath. And the opposite to be true, where you feel contraction or release as you exhale. Just finding your own breath cycle. Might not be readily available to you, so maybe you place one hand on your heart and or your rib cage. And begin to deepen your breath cycle as you deepen your awareness internally into your body. Allowing the opportunity to get out of your head and focus on your oceanic or ocean wave breath. And take 3 deep breath cycles. Just notice what comes up for you. Any thoughts of today or to-do lists? Any irritations or distractions? Just notice them first. Meeting yourself where you are in this moment, and then instead of denying it, you can start to work with it by lengthening your breath and noticing the flow of your breath through your body. Can you slow the last breath down? Beautiful job. Bring your hands to your knees or your thighs. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen. Maybe you pull your shoulders up towards your ears, lengthen through your spine. Hold it if you wish, but as you exhale, soften and let your shoulders, your jaw, even your hips relax. Good. Inhale your arms up overhead. Take a great big giant stretch. Let your palms touch. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Tuck your chin, let your chin into your chest. Your shoulders can relax away from the ears as they soften down your back. In this moment, if you wish to set an intention, maybe it's a thought or a devotion, just take a moment of reverence, setting it here before your practice, noticing your own starting point. Nice deep breath in to set this moment. Exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Come up into a tabletop position, please. Bringing your hands in front of you, knees hip width apart, feet hip width apart. Let's take a nice deep breath. A couple of cow cats here. Tuck your chin into your chest. Lift through the spine as you press into your hands. Really feel the breath as it flows through your back. Inhale, press stomach down, look up, maybe chin up. Opening up through the hips as well. So as you exhale, tuck your chin into your chest. Pull your hips in towards your belly, really rounding. And with your hips, as you exhale, press your hips back and up, just like your shoulders and your chin. One more time together. Work with the hips here, pulling the hips in towards the belly. As you exhale, allowing the hips to lift up and back. Good. Find your tabletop and take a nice deep breath here. Slow exhale out. Nicely done. Dial your toes under. I'm going to take this mostly into standing now. So as you dial your toes under, press into your hands. Nice deep breath in. Lift your hips, downward facing dog you go. Just take a moment. Maybe you pedal it out, shake it out side to side. Shake your head, yes or no. Good, and then look to the middle of your mat and walk your feet in between your hands. Nice forward fold here. If you want, you can come towards the wall, allowing the wall to be behind your tuchus, just allowing you to fully forward fold. Bend your knees if you wish. Nice deep breath here. Slowly roll up unless you have a sensitive spine, and then allow a nice flat back. Either way, we're going to stand nice and tall, coming into a standing position here. Good. Just take a moment. Maybe you shrug your shoulders. Maybe we wiggle out your hands or your feet. Find any rotation that you need. We're going to first come into a standing camel here. So showing you the side view, bring your hands behind your back. Again, you can always use the wall for support if you wish, bringing your hands to the wall, pulling your shoulder blades together in back. Engage your glutes, so pull your glutes in and up, pull your belly button in, and maybe you just drop your head back. There's no need to lean back if you're feeling secure. Your shoulder blades are together. If you wish and you have the support, keeping your glutes engaged to protect your lower back, maybe you draw a line down the ceiling towards the back wall. Take one more breath. Pull your shoulder blades together and back. Open up through your heart. And a slow and gentle release as you let it go. Now, you didn't even notice, but you had your hips pressed forward slightly, just giving them a nice little warm up. Coming now into a lunge, we'll take the right leg first. So draw your right foot forward and your left foot back. Now, if you would rather bend the back knee and come into a low lunge, perfectly fine, as we are just going to take the opportunity in the lunge to press both hips towards the short point of the mat. And if you wish, you can draw your arms up overhead. That always starts the cardio going. There is no need to do that if that does not feel comfortable for you. We have one more breath. You can take this into a crescent lunge by pressing your hips forward and drawing your gaze towards the ceiling. Shoulders relax away from your ears. There's one breath if you've chosen this lunge. Coming back to our regular lunge here, placing your hands down by your side. Dial your toes under if you were in low lunge to lift through the back leg. And here you are, everybody's meeting in a high lunge. Take a nice deep breath here. Good. And then drop the back foot so that it is parallel to the short part of your mat. You're opening up your hip. We're coming into a warrior two. Lifting up, arms come out. Front knee is bent. Maybe one day, if not today, your thigh can come parallel to the ground, but having your knee directly over your ankle will keep you in alignment. Press through the back edge of the foot, firing up your thigh, and then press the front knee in line with the pinky toe, opening up through the hip. You have one more breath here. Good. Now we're going to straighten the front bent leg and pick up your toes and pivot them towards the front. Draw your heels in, your toes are out, and arms come up on the inhale as you exhale into A goddess here, a horse. Weight is in your heels. Draw your shoulders over your hips and drop your hips down low, opening up your knees. Nice inhale, come back up, 5-pointed star. Nice deep breath here as you stretch from toes to fingers. And we'll come to the other side. When you're ready, nice deep breath here. Good. And then we'll pick up our toes. First will be the back leg, left leg, picking the toes and pointing them directly towards the short part of the mat. Back foot, adjust your back foot so the knife edge is pressed into the ground. You'll feel your back thigh fire up. As you're ready, inhale and lengthen your arms out. Fingertips in line with the shoulder. Take a nice deep breath and bend your knee. Maybe you lengthen the back leg to ensure your knee stays over your ankle. Here's one more breath here. Press your knee towards the pinky toe, opening through the hip, and a slow and gentle release. We're going to come back down into our lunge. So if you took a high lunge or a low lunge, take the exact same version on this leg, please. Taking a moment here to line your hips up, square to the short part of your mat. Pull your shoulders down your back. If you wish, inhale, your arms come up. Notice here, as you bend into the front leg, shoulders relax. Can you feel it in your hip? If you wish to use a hip extension, inhale and maybe look up, pressing your hips towards your left toe, allowing your hips to come forward. Maybe your gaze comes up and back. One more breath here. Slow and gentle release. Plant your hand. Take a nice deep breath here. Good. We're going to dial our toes under one more time and then step the back foot up so that now you can allow for a pyramid. That means that you're getting into your hips. Your back foot is stepped up at 45 degrees, so much so that your hips can align. Maybe you pull your right one forward, your left one back. And then bend your front knee as much as you need to bring your forehead to your knee. But press into your hips as you drop your shoulders, soften your jaw. Good, you have one more breath here. Slowly and gently, we're just going to walk ourselves around. So pick up your toes and pivot once. You can take a forward fold here if you wish. You can even extend the wide and legs if that feels good. This will release your lower back and your sacrum. Shake your head yes or no, or grab opposite elbows if you wish. You have one more breath. Now, slow and gently, picking up your toes and pivot towards the back of the mat. Maybe you step the back foot up 45 degrees so that your hips can be in line with the short part of your mat. So take a moment. Maybe the left hip pulls back and the right hip pulls forward. Bend your knee as much as you need to bring your forehead to knee. Release any judgment and simply just breathe through the side of your ribs as if you have gills. Soften your jaw. Soften your breath. There's one more here. Good. Slowly and gently, we'll take that release back to the front. So pick up your toes and pivot them back towards the front of your mat, and then drop your head. Let it go. Maybe a swing from side to side. And your forward fold. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow and gentle release. Heel toe your feet, either hip width apart or let your toes touch depending on the sensitivity of your lower back. Take a nice deep breath in and a half lift, placing your hands on your shins or maybe your thighs, but you would like a flat back. So don't worry if you feel like, oh, I should be doing it one way. Do it how your body is finding the most length and the most ease. We're going to take an exhale and forward fold, please. Nicely done. Slowly and gently, we're going to come into a figure four. So you can come down into tabletop or downward facing dog. Your right leg comes back and up. Bend your knee and slowly bring your right knee to your right wrist. Now this is if you still get into your hips with the figure four supine on your back, planting your foot. Right knee comes up, right ankle over the left thigh. So here are your different choices. Figure four, supine on your back, or half pigeon. It's your choice. Now you can stay up on your hands. You can come onto your forearms. You can lower your forehead. But I'd like you, wherever you've chosen to be today, to soften your eyes and reconnect, just like we did at the beginning. Reconnect with your breath. As you let your eyes grow heavy, notice your breath as it flows in your body. What do you notice? And what can you let go? As you focus directly on your breath flowing into your body. Just like life, right? So here we are, we're doing one thing, and then thoughts or actions come into our mind, and we gotta choose to let them go, and then to reconnect into the moment. The gift of your presence. This present time is your gift, so just take 5 breaths here. And exhale everything out. Soften your jaw and soften your hips a little closer to the earth as you breathe. You may have 2 more here. As slow and gently as you need to release from the figure four, rather from the half pigeon. Fingertips come over your shoulder as you lengthen and lift, coming out back into a downward dog or a tabletop to take a few organic movements, the movements that release any tension. In your figure four, complete release, maybe you come up with both knees and you rock back and forth, a little easy baby. Hips swing from side to side. If you wish a happy baby in your practice, please feel free. Or you can allow for your feet to come out. They call the stirrups. Press your feet towards the ceiling as you pull your feet down with your hands. But make sure that your lower back is pressed into the ground. You have 1 more breath to release before we go to the other side. So just notice. Don't ignore it. Notice how it feels. Notice anything that came up. And then exhale it. Let it go. It only comes up to come out. So let it. And then when you're ready, the exact same variation that you did on the other side now. So just be mindful. Now this side might be able to do a little bit differently. That's okay. You just want to create symmetry in your body. So bring your left knee to your left wrist. Allowing the length as you level your hips before finalizing your half pigeon. Or noticing your shoulders and your hips completely glued to the floor before you create your figure four. Noticing variations. Maybe your elbow presses into your thigh to open up the hip. In the supine figure four, please ensure that your lower back, your hip bones are secure onto the mat. That'll avoid any pulling of the SI. If you wish, the extension of your leg as you press up towards the ceiling. keeping your shoulders and your hips level on the ground. You can soften your eyes and your jaw wherever you choose to be. You have 5 deep breaths here, so let's reconnect. First, find your breath. Let's ride the wave on the exhale. Lengthen your breath down to your toes as you get out of your head and into your body. Notice where you can soften and what you can let go. Rekindling the gift of your present moment. Open it up. Open up, use your gift. It's your own self-care. Untie the bow with each breath. Maybe your inhale is a surprise. What an exciting surprise gift this present moment can be. One more breath here, maybe just for you. Finding a release so that you can take a moment and pedal out any sort of tension or resistance that may have come up. Again, releasing that and letting it go, along with any judgment or comparison that you may have made along the way. That could be just me, but I'm saying. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow and gentle exhale. I'd like you to find your way onto your back. As we take a few more poses, take a few more shapes, and allow our breath to continue into this hip opener here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Good. Left knee comes into your chest. Find the interlace around your shin, the back of your thigh, but press both hips and shoulders on the mat. Tuck your chin slightly, making a beautiful double chin. That could just be me too, and that's okay because that's life. That's skin. What you're going to do, you know? Take a nice deep breath. Maybe you draw your knee out towards your armpit. With each exhale, opening up through your hip flexor. Flex both of your feet to protect your knees and take one more breath. A supine twist. Right hand comes to the outside of your left knee. Exhale, draws your knee across your body. Let your left hand come to the flat of your back. Notice the stacking of hip over hip. It doesn't matter how far your knee goes down. How are you really finding the spinal twist when you stack your hips and allow your shoulders to be heavy? One more inhale as you press your shoulders down. Let the exhale deepen your twist, or maybe your gaze over your fingers. And then come back to center, drawing your knee in, giving it a nice little hug. Release it long. Some people like to press it to the ceiling and then let it go. But take a moment and notice side to side. Maybe you pedal out your hips. Inhale your arms and right knee comes in. So this is great for your digestion too. And take a nice deep breath. Shoulders are planted. Hips are planted. Feet are flexed. Eyes are soft. Jaw is soft. Nice deep breath. Maybe you open up, bringing the thigh to the outer edge of your rib cage. Allows the exhale to deepen knee into armpit. Breathing into your hips, your hip flexor. Supine twist, left hand reaches around. Right knee comes over. Let your right hand come to the flat of your back, the small part of your back, your sacrum. And then you can notice hip stacking. And then find the variation that you wish. There's one more breath. Inhale, shoulders down. Exhale, deepen your twist. Gentle release as you come back onto your back. Draw your right knee in. And then lengthen your right leg long as you bring it down. Shake it out. Now let's start to shake our toes and our heels. So we're just like shaking out our feet. And then notice if you can shake your thighs. Shake your shins, maybe shake your hips, shake your ribs, shake your shoulders, shake your arms. And then just let it settle. Let yourself settle. Let your body grow heavy. Take a nice light breath in. And as you exhale, imagine your exhale coming down into your heels, the bottom of your feet, and along your toes. Let your toes flop out to the side as you relax and soften shins and calves. Let your shoulders and your hips be heavy. And find a resting pose for a minute or two. Let your eyes get heavy. I will keep my eyes open and on the time. Absorb all the benefits of your practice today. Where do you feel stillness? Where can you sense any space or light you may have created? A few breaths. Let your mind ride the wave. And soften your head, your jaw, your eyes, your shoulders, your hands, your hips, your heels, your toes. And take 2 more deep, fulfilling breaths. This time, allowing each exhale to sweep away any resistance, distraction. You may stay in your Shavasana for as long as you wish today. If you would like to end your hip sequence with me, begin to draw some small movements in between your fingertips. In your toes. Stretch your feet and your fingers, your palms and your heels, and maybe rotating through wrists or ankles. Bend your knees, your elbows. Take a nice deep breath as you reach and stretch. Bending your knees and elbows one more time to roll over onto your right side or the side of your body you wish. To allow the ground to support as you just check in. Notice your breath, your mind, and your body here. Notice any difference you feel from when you started. When you're ready, place your hand in front of your chest. Exhale and draw yourself up to seated. Bring your hands to your heart center, maybe to your knees or your thighs if that's more comfortable, but tuck your chin into your chest for reverence. Bringing back full circle any devotion, any word, any intention you may have set. Just notice the great accomplishment of finishing your practice today. May you take this peace you've created, the openness that you've worked on, and the breath and mind connection with you. as you go out into the world, know we couldn't do this without you. We thank you so much for your support. We are here to support you and meet you where you are. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. And thank you again on Veterans Day for allowing me the freedom that I so greatly appreciate. May you have the sunshine upon you, and may the wind have your back wherever you go. Bye. And don't forget, I'll see you for yin on Friday.